Conferences are no longer moments in time. They're movements leading up to the date of the conference and movements leading out. At time, that total movement can span 6 months. Right now, we're in the middle of a movement, and it's called the Road to Exchange, and it's all about what's to come for the Exchange Conference that's taking place February 11th through the 14th down in Miami Beach. It's a conference for advisors by advisors. It also includes a lot of great partners coming together to help create better outcomes for the advisors in the room. I'm joined by one of those partners right now. His name, Cole Feinberg. He's a partner at BondBloxx. Cole, how are you doing and where are you joining us from?
I'm great, John. Thanks for having me. I'm actually in my home office today, which is it's a little bit rare. I'm so often happily meeting with advisors and on the road, but I'm at home in California today.
Yeah, you are actually. I see your posts frequently on LinkedIn. It looks like you're on the road a lot, racking up those miles. But like I've heard from issuers as well as financial advisors this year, the number one challenge that's top of mind for everybody, getting in front of their clients, building those relationships. And you got to do that in person. Hey, Cole, I want to start off with, you're on the road a lot. You're meeting with financial advisors. What's top of mind for them?
Yeah. Well, in 2 words, I'd say fixed income. Um,
I guess I gave you an easy question there. I'm sorry. Yeah, BondBloxx 100% focused on fixed income and building bond ETFs. Double click a little bit deeper. What is it about fixed income that's top of mind for advisors or frankly, some of the institutional clients you meet with?
Yeah, appreciate that. That's what we do, right? That's what we do at BondBloxx. We are 100% focused on fixed income. Look, I can dig in on a lot of different topics as it relates to that, but a couple of different things that I think are really resonating. Look, what the Fed has done, right, as a starting point, the yield curve, tons and tons of conversations with advisors about how should they be thinking about what the Fed has done, how should they be thinking about duration, how should they be thinking about credit. And it's really fun to work at a place like BondBloxx where we are hyper-focused and can really dig in on exactly those topics and hopefully help provide solutions for clients, be it on the credit or treasury and kind of growing suite of products where we have a toolbox that can be really helpful there.
Absolutely. Okay, so the Fed is top of mind for advisors. Yield curve is top of mind. Something that I hear from advisors at the Exchange Conference is actionable tickers. They want actionable tickers. They want to know what they should consider in their portfolios and why. So Cole, when you think about the menu of products that BondBloxx has today, can you tell me about a couple solutions advisors should consider for their portfolios in 2024?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that. And you're right. So, John, if I've learned anything, it's nobody knows an advisor's portfolio better than the advisor. So what I'd love to do actually maybe is share a few solutions that are really resonating in client conversations that we're having of late and client conversations we're having right now. So ticker 1, XHLF, X half. That is the BondBloxx 6-month target duration US Treasury ETF. For the exact reason that we just alluded to, the Fed, our friends at the Fed and the significant rate increases we've seen. You're getting paid nearly 5.5% for 6-month US Treasury exposure. So XHLF gives you an extremely low cost, high precision way to put money to work on the front end of the curve. We've seen a tremendous amount of adoption there. Money market fund replacement, and just being low cost, it really scratches a lot of itches. So that would be number 1, XHLF. Number 2, XCCC, XCCC. This is a ratings category ETF that gives you exposure within high yield to just CCC rated bonds, to exclusively CCC rated bonds. The yield on that is north of 14% right now. It is a little bit more of a risk on idea, but I think importantly, the economy has been extraordinarily resilient. We're not seeing recession fears nearly to the extent that we saw, over the course of the last 18 months. If anything, those are kind of, subsiding. Default rates in these companies are extremely low relative to kind of pre-recessionary environments that we've experienced in the past. And so, with an over 14% yield, I think that's something that we're having a lot more conversations and advisors are gravitating towards. And because of that yield, I think importantly also, should there be a downturn, you've got a tremendous amount of cushion when you're clipping 14 and change percent. So I think that's really an interesting one. Mm-hmm. Number 3, I'll end with HYSA. Okay. This is a BondBloxx. It's actually an active ETF. It's a high yield sector rotation fund. So what it actually owns is 7 different high yield sector ETFs, all from BondBloxx as well. But it overweights and underweights the individual sectors relative to kind of the parent benchmark. So I kind of like to think of it, it's almost like a smart beta high yield, where you get that kind of passive like exposure, you get that kind of beta exposure. But with that, you also get the active component. And so, the opportunity to overweight and underweight certain sectors to give you a little bit more bang for your buck. Put a really fine point on that. Case in point right now, it's a little bit overweight energy high yield bonds and a little bit underweight healthcare. There's obviously other nuances and other movements, but just to give you a little bit of a sense. And I think that, often some investors want a passive exposure. Others want an active exposure for high yield and for fixed income. And I think what's neat about HYSA is it really scratches the itch for all of the above.
That's a great spectrum of ideas to consider in the fixed income part of the portfolio. So if I have it right, just because I'm going to do a little bit of research myself after this. So it's XHLF, it's XCCC, or you called it XCCC, and then HYSA, which is almost like an ETF of ETFs with the active overlay. Very cool. Cole, what else is new at BondBloxx? I see you guys launching a lot of products. I know you're coming on down to the exchange conference, but what else is new at BondBloxx?
Yeah, I'd say one thing that's new and I think is kind of fun is I feel like I'm spending less time kind of educating and talking to clients and folks about the ETF wrapper, right? Mm-hmm. And I actually, I feel like at conferences of old, there was a tremendous amount of time spent on better understanding trading and liquidity and how to access liquidity in ETFs. And that's totally fair, right? I joke with people all the time. Trading is literally the middle name of the ETF. It's a pretty important part of it. But maybe because of conferences like Exchange, I think that kind of understanding has come a really long way, and we've evolved into now, how do we think about putting what we've learned into practice, right? Mm-hmm. And so as a result of getting to spend more time talking to clients, not about educating on the wrapper, that time can be more spent or better spent talking about precision and thinking about, fixed income 2.0, if you will. And we kind of say the income is back in fixed income. And it gives us an opportunity to really talk to advisors to really make, to take their fixed income and bond exposures into the 21st century and really adopt for, fixed income to come. And I think that has been something that's been just the opportunity set with precision fixed income has been something that's really new for, and that we're working on a ton these days.
I think that really, like your answer there really just speaks to the maturation of the fixed income ETF. It's I still remember the early days. It was the promise of the ETF for fixed income, and then it got really into like, well, what's the proof that you can deliver on this promise? And I'm seeing that a lot at VettaFi too. It's like, no, get it. It's worked well for me on the equity side. It's working even better for me on the fixed income side. Let's talk about different ways to make it work even harder in the portfolio and different ideas and how to put that bond ETF to practice. Cole, I don't have you for very much longer because I know you got to get out to client meetings. I got 2 more quick questions for you. One of them is not about all the hats behind you, and I'm sure each of those hats tells a story, but who else from BondBloxx, aside from you? I know you're going to be down in Miami Beach, February 11th through the 14th at the Exchange Conference, but who else from BondBloxx is going to be down there as well?
Yeah, look, I think it's actually one of the things we like so much about Exchange, because Exchange brings so many parts of the ETF community together, right? The ecosystem is represented across portfolio management, investment, capital markets, and trading and distribution, and of course the advisors. We're going to have a really strong presence. So as you said, you know, I will absolutely be there, and I'm excited to be there and to talk to advisors. Others on my team, so on our team here at BondBloxx, Joanna Gallegos, the mother of ETFs. She will be there alongside us. I need a better nickname, by the way.
I just saw the mother of ETFs in a headline this week. I don't think you can get a better nickname or title in the
right. Yes, I need a PR person. So Joanna will be there. Brian O'Donnell, a dear friend and colleague. Brian's going to be there. You know, very well known in U.S. wealth advisory circles. So pumped to have him join. Look, I think we'll definitely have others over the coming weeks, month. You know, we'll kind of figure out who. But I think, as mentioned, we're going to have a strong presence. We're going to be well represented, and we're super excited to be there.
That's great. That's good to hear. Okay. And Cole, I'm hearing the same from so many other partners set to be down there with us. And I'm hearing a lot of equal excitement from the advisor community because it's all about that relationship building. What's your favorite part when you think about the Exchange conference? You know, we're on the road to Exchange. It's coming up in a couple of months. What's your favorite part about the conference?
Well, getting to be with you, John. No, you know, I was on the Exchange website actually the other day, and I saw a quote, or heard a quote, I should say, from an advisor that I really liked, and I'm going to do my best to paraphrase it. Short version is, you know, this is a relationship business. I love the relationships that I've established in this industry over 20 years. You know, like literally folks who've become dear friends. And so getting to reconnect with peers, getting to reconnect with clients, high-fiving, you know, old buddies and old colleagues and all that good stuff. And also, you know, look, I think helping advisors drive better outcomes and having conversations with clients and folks who are going to be there. It's just, again, I don't think there's a better conference to do that. And it's just so fun to get to do this in person again. And we're really excited to be down there.
Very well said, Cole. Thank you for the time. Thank you on behalf of you being at BondBloxx and partnering with us and building a phenomenal conference for advisors, February 11th through the 14th, Miami Beach. I look forward to seeing you down there, Cole. Thanks again for the time.